Thank you. All right, welcome to the semifinals of the 2021 Mid-Atlantic Championship Tournament between Voodoo and the Juggernauts. Fifth seeded Voodoo, number one seed Juggernauts. The winner of this is like the losers bracket final. Both of these teams have one loss. The winner of this goes on to face Earl in the best of three championship series. This is a 5-inning regulation game, just as it will be all day. It's 5 extra innings, clean extra innings. If it's still tied after 10, the 11th will start with bases loaded. These two teams met earlier in the day. The Juggernauts were victorious to move on to the winners bracket final, where they lost to Earl. So Voodoo had to fight their way back through the losers bracket. They beat, I guess they only had to play one game in the losers bracket. They beat the Long Balls to make it here. Red on the mound for the Juggernauts. This is Red's first game of the day. All right, ready to get underway. Jordan Robles leading off for Voodoo. Again, Red on the mound for the Juggernauts. Red starts Jordan off of a drop pitch. It just misses a little bit inside and low. Gotcha.
Smell you.
So Red gets the all-important first out of the game, or of the inning. Gets Jordan on a strikeout. Brings up Ed Backer. Backer still sporting the jorts. Wearing them all day. Worked from at the yard open, so going from a get here. He claims they're comfortable. I don't see how they are, but I'll take his word for it. A little pause here as Red cramps up. Some Tiger Bomb. We'll spare you seeing that. So while we're waiting here, just to recap how both these teams got here. Juggernauts came into this as a top seed, beat the number 8 seed Stompers in a bit of a blowout to advance to the semifinals of the winners bracket, where they beat Voodoo. Then they went on to the winners bracket final, where they lost to Earl. Their win against Voodoo was a walk-off from Ben Stant. They lost to Earl on a 2-run home run by Dan Whitener. So Voodoo won their first game against the Aces 4-3. Came back down 1-0, then staved off a late comeback from the Aces. They had 2 solo shots in the bottom of the 4th inning to make it 4-3, but Voodoo switched pitchers in the bottom half of Voodoo switched pitchers for the bottom of the 5th. For the last inning, they brought in Toast to close after Jordan Robles went the rest of the way. Toast shut him down, so Voodoo won that game against the Aces 4-3. Then they lost to the Juggernauts, as we just talked about, on a walk-off home run by Ben Stant. Then they dropped down to the losers bracket, where they beat They beat East Coast Elite, and then they beat the Long Balls. Couple close games. The East Coast Elite game was 7 innings. They won, I think, it was 3-2 or 4-3. I can't remember exactly. And then Long Ball, same deal. They were down 1-0, tied it up at 1. Then hit a home run, toasted home run in the 5th inning to put them up to put up Voodoo 3-1. They held on to beat the Long Balls to make it back to here. So Voodoo has played one more game than the Juggernauts coming into this. Voodoo's 3-1, Juggernauts are 2-1. And again, the winner of this awaits Earl, who is the winner's bracket champion. We're going to try to work out a cramp here. There really isn't any contingency plan. I don't think I guess there would be, Tim, possibly Ryan again, but Ryan threw the first 3 games for the Juggernauts, so they really need Red to be able to go here and be effective. Most Juggernauts games feature a lot of warm-ups, but this one's unintentional. This one's an injury warm-up. Okay, so we're ready to go here. I think it's 1-2 is the count to Packer. 1 out, top of the 1st inning. That riser catches a lot of the zone. Packer fouls it back about 15 feet or so. Not to pitch Red wanted to throw, but it gets the result he wanted. Packer looks like he was sitting on something, maybe expecting to get something right over the plate again like he did the previous pitch. Swings through that low riser and stays down. So 2 outs now, nobody on. Sean Steffi up for Voodoo. It bounces in, ball 1. No rush whenever you and Potter are done with your conversation. If you can get me a beer. Oh, I can get it myself. This is nice being able to walk around with the microphone. I can just announce from out here. No, we've had. I just haven't been using it this year because I've been lazy. All right, 2-2 count. Yeah. I pamper him. Pitch doesn't miss by much. Good miss. Full count now. Red comes right after Steffi there. Sean gets a piece, nubs it into the ground. Count stays the same. Again, right at him. Better piece that time. Sean fouls that straight back. Red doesn't need to come in right after him. He's got a base open. That just misses low. Counts full now. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That's ball 4. So runner on first, 2 outs. Come on, guys. Let's go, Red. So Juggernauts will stick with their normal defense, 2 in. Red gets ahead in the count, 0-2. Comes back with a little hesitation move, then the riser. Didn't really rise much, stays low, freezes toast. So Red gets through one scoreless inning. 2-out walk is the only base runners for Voodoo. Let's go to the bottom of the first, no score. Again, this is a semifinal game. The winner of this advances on to the Mid-Atlantic Championship Series to face Earl, and that'll be a best 2 out of 3 series. Now, the last 3 standing in this tournament, both the Aces and Yaks went 0-2, so they finished 7th and 8th. Collectively, I'm not sure which one finished 7th, which one finished 8th. Ace is a bit of an upset. They came in as the 4 seed. Lost a tough one to Voodoo. Just really a story of a couple pitches, or one inning and then another pitch. Teddy Drescher started for the Aces, looked real good. Aces went up 1-0. Then he got a little bit wild, and I think like the 3rd or 4th inning, walked a couple base runners, and sort of lost his concentration for one pitch. You can't do that against Voodoo. Sean Steffi hit that out for a 3-run home run. Then he let up after slipping later in the game, he let up a solo shot to a Toast. Again, just sort of the same thing, just momentary lapse of concentration. Aces fought back, got 2 solo home runs off of Jordan Robles in the bottom of the 4th. But Voodoo brought Toast in to close. Aces couldn't complete the comebacks. They lost 4-3, then dropped their next game to the Stompers. Stompers had a tough start. I think they got blown out by the Juggernauts, but then fought back, beat the Aces. We had a really good pitching outing from Wyatt Zussman. And the Stompers dropped their next game, so they exited the tournament 1-2 also. So that gets us down to 6, and then Long Balls finished 4th. They lost a close game. Brendan Bowes pitched really well against Voodoo. That eliminated them in 4th. So then the 5th place finisher was East Coast Elite. They also lost to Voodoo the game before. East Coast Elite was a little short-handed. They only had 3 players today, Gino Joseph, Devin Torres, and Kenny Stengel. Gino had a bout of wildness early, which inopportune. He's been, he really hasn't had that all season long, but walked in 3 runs, essentially 4 runs against the Long Balls in their opener. And East Coast Elite fought back, got a win, got a couple wins, I think, to face Voodoo. Just came up just short, 7 innings, 4-3 loss in that game. So they finished 5th, 6th along with the Stompers. Long Balls finished 4th. Loser of this will finish 3rd. And then we'll have our championship series to decide the 2021 Mid-Atlantic champion. It'll either be Earl repeating for the 3rd straight year, or we'll have a first-time champion if the Juggernauts or Voodoo win. If the Juggernauts win, that'll be the first time a MAW regular season champion has won the MAW championship. All right, just about ready to go here in the bottom of the 1st. Promise there'll be less warm-ups as this game goes along. Tried to time this to start this after Reds warm-ups, which we did, but then came up with a cramp in the 1st inning, so we had a few more. And Steffi getting in his warm-ups before his first half inning of work. But we're ready to go now. Ben Stant leading off for the Juggernauts. Stant takes that upper outside corner. No, you're good. Oh. 1-2 count. Just misses low. It's the leg. Stant evens up the count at 2. Stant the hero of the first game between these two teams. This game-winning home run put the Juggernauts through to the winners bracket final. Stefan gets in there looking. One out brings up Tim McGilrath. Tim hasn't hit much today, but always a danger. Choking up again. She joined us for the previous game between these two teams where Toast started. Tim choked up that entire game too. He's almost up to the plastic on that bat. So this, for both teams, rolling out a fresh pitcher here. This is Steffi's first game and Red's first game. Juggernauts rode Ryan McGilrath through their first 3 games, which resulted in 2 wins and 1 loss. That loss coming against Earl in the winners bracket finals. Voodoo, meanwhile, used a combination of Jordan and Toast to get through their first 4 games. Toast picked up a save for Jordan in the their opener against the Aces. Then Toast went to second game, then Jordan came back in, then they switched off again. So it's been back and forth. I think they both ended up with around 10 innings pitched. And yeah, this is Steffi's first game. Actually, probably a little bit more than 10 apiece. Good hack from Ryan. Swings through it, though. 2 down. Nobody on. Voodoo Juggernauts. Earl awaits the winner of this game in the best of 3 championship series. Steffi takes something off of that, but it floats way outside. Comes right back at him with a, I don't know what that was exactly, but a low inside corner. So scoreless innings for both pitchers here in the first. It's a 5-inning regulation game. They'll play 5 clean extras. If it's still tied after the 10th inning, bases will start loaded in the 11th. Even with both of these pitchers fresh, I still don't think we'll probably get to that point. Earl relaxes behind me here in the outfield. They're the one interested party that would definitely like to see this go long. Definitely like to see it get into 11th inning, where these teams and these fresh pitchers down as much as possible. Earl also has a couple of fresh pitchers, Mike Stiles and Johnny Costa, but I don't imagine we'll see them at least right away. Connor pitched the first game and a half for Earl, then Dan Weiner took the second game and a half. Jordan Robles leading off again for Voodoo. Ground ball stays fair. Just hugged the first third base line. It's a leadoff single for Voodoo. It's our first hit of the game. for just joining us. There's a little bit of a delay, or we got the game started, then a little bit of a delay as Red had a cramp, and he hasn't looked quite. Hasn't had his usual velocity since then. Hasn't really been falling through and finishing. You could kind of see it on that pitch, even though he gets the swinging strike. It was kind of all arm, didn't finish through. Was able to snap that drop pitch over for the strikeout. 1 out, runner on first. Sean Steffi up for Voodoo. So, 2 quick outs after the Robles single. Oops. All right, 2 outs. Toast up trying to get that runner in from first. A double will do that. Nice riser from Red. That had his usual velocity. Two outs.
Okay. Go, Red. It's like, oh, here goes.
Way to help out. Red bounces that in.
What do you say, Red? What you say, 5?
Just lays off the high rise. There's nice patient at bat. Toast there. I keep wanting to call him David or whatever, but it feels so weird. It also feels weird to say Toast every time too, though. He needs like a last name to go with that. Jordan takes that off the kneecap. So first and second, 2 outs. No score here. Top of the second inning. Winner moves on to the 2021 Mid-Atlantic Championship Series, which will be best 2 out of 3 to face Earl. Good cut, but good spot from Red. Jordan saw that, but nothing he could do about that, low and in. Red 1 strike away from getting out of the jam here in the second. A little bit of a jam. Comes right after with the hard stuff. Jordan gets a piece, but Johnny holds on for the 3rd out of the inning. They're 1.5 scoreless innings. Juggernauts coming to bat. Stant reaches all the way across the plate there. Still can't make contact. Evens up the count 2-2. Steffi comes right back at him, gets his K. Two down now. Bottom of the second brings up Tim McGilrath for the Juggernauts. Again, Tim's been kind of quiet today. There's a ground ball single, at least a single. Ed Packer keeps it off the wall. Yeah, right on time there. You figure it's only a matter of time before Tim starts collecting hits. So that puts a runner on first, 2 outs. Brings up Tim's brother, Ryan. Ryan swinging big just like his brother. I think for the Juggernauts, at least early on, it's probably going to be, trying to ambush big swings, just trying to get a hold of something. So the Juggernauts pick up their first hit of the game, 2 out single from Tim McGilrath, but no other damage done. We're through 2 full innings now, still scoreless. This is the semifinals of the 2021 Mid-Atlantic Championship Tournament. The winner of this advances to the best 2 out of 3 Mid-Atlantic Championship Series, which will be right after this against Earl. Earl went 3-0 in their first 3 games. They entered as the 2 seed. They beat this number 7 seed, the Yaks. Then they beat the 6-seeded Long Balls. And then they beat the Juggernauts, who were the 2nd seed. So we got to the winner's bracket final with the top 2 seeds still alive. But Earl took that game. Dan Weiner had the game-winning hit, a 2-run home run in the 6th inning. He also picked up the pitching win in that.
Good job, Red.
Right ahead in the count now, 0-2. He drops that sidearm drop pitch in. Gets Packer looking. 1 out, nobody on.
Good idea. Go, Red, come on. Good idea. I like it. Go, 5. Good job. Foot.
Little number, but hits off of Steffi's foot, so that's a foul ball.
Go, 5. Come on, Red. Stay, 5. Yeah, Red.
Red gets a looking strikeout, 2 down now. Both pitchers, I was going to say settled in, but they never really got wild. Again, both guys fresh here. Both Steffi and Red pitching their first game.
Good job, Red. Go 5. You say, Red, come on.
Just gets a piece of that to stay alive.
Go 5. Come on, Red. You say 5. Good job.
So cleaning for Red sends us to the bottom of the third. Still scoreless here. Juggernauts Voodoo. Winner advances to face Earl. Runner on first, one out, bottom of the third. Tim McGelrath up for the Juggernauts. Sean takes Takes a little something off of that. Freezes Tim. So 2 outs now. Runner still on first. So wild pitch puts the runner on second. 2 outs still. A clean single now would bring in the first run of the game.
Go, 5. What do you say, Red? Come on. Good idea, good idea.
Top of the 4th inning, no score between the Juggernauts and Voodoo. Winner of this advances to face Earl in the Mid-Atlantic Championship Series.
Good job, Red.
Line drive. Timagaros got it. Probably the best tip ball we've seen so far.
Go, two that. Outfielder, not infielder. I was gonna one-hand it, but that's too much though. Good job! Dude, in softball, I catch it behind my back and shit, like, 'cause it's so boring. Like, gotta add some excitement, right? This shit's exciting enough.
2 down now. Sean Steffi up for Voodoo.
Oh, good pitch, Red. Let's go, Red.
Red almost snuck that in.
Hey,
Just dips a little bit below the zone.
Stay 5. Go, I got you. Good job!
Three outs will go to the bottom of the fourth. Still scoreless. Juggernauts have 6 more outs to work with here to end this one in regulation. If not, we'll head to extras. Be 5 clean extras. Then we'll start the 11th if it's still tied with bases loaded. Bottom 4.
Just the tip. Hey, let's go, Steph. Hey, not a bad miss there. Come, buddy. Wow, that's Phil. Phil. You throw it right there. He deserves it. Go, Steph. Close the door, kid. Nice, Steph. Atta boy.
Way to battle. Way to battle.
Nice, buddy. Let me see the side of your head.
Did you hear the growl that I let out in that Snapchat? That's why I was like, yo, watch it.
You're not far from the
Bad, bro. He's fucked up. Bad. Really bad.
That's right.
I was looking at Packers, like, gotta go to Packers guy. Well, no, he was supposed to put lines in it. Like, take this down to like a 2. And he fucked up the line. you gotta buzz the side. You just gotta buzz it. We just gotta go stint. So I'll grow back in a week and then I can.
Then you get it in there.
Okay.
Do it yourself.
Toast. Apple.
Come on.
Two dead.
Come on, Ken, let's go. Lock in, Tim. Barrel it up.
Good job. Good spot.
Tim, that just missed.
Way up. Here we go.
Love the mix. Love the mix. Good save.
Bounces in 2 outs for the Juggernauts here in their in the bottom half of the 4th. Looking for a little 2-out rally here. Tim barrels up on that, but fouls it not straight back, but a little off to the right. A little bit better at bats for the Juggernauts as we go along. It's another clean inning for Steffi. We go to the top of the 5th. Last regulation inning, still no score. Both teams still trying to figure out the opposing pitcher.
Ryan, take one from there and second as well.
I'll go for the second.
Tim, I want you taking one too.
Got you. All right, I got it now, though. Let's go, 5.
All right, ready to go here in the top of the 5th inning. No score. Semifinal matchup here at the 2021 Mid-Atlantic Championship Tournament. Winner advances to the best 2 out of 3 series against Earl to decide the 2021 Mid-Atlantic Champion. Or gets Toast to swing through that. So the story here is, as far as Red and the Juggernauts are concerned, this is Red's first game of the day. He cramped up in the 1st inning. Hasn't quite been the same sense.
Good job, Red.
He's really throwing with just his arm, which, it worries me to see just because that's how you hurt your arm. But it's going to be impossible to take him out of the game at this point. Hopefully, he's getting enough leg in there to keep some of the pressure off his arm.
Go, 5.
But yeah, you can see him. You can see him limping back to the mound here. That cramp still hasn't gone away. If the Juggernauts do advance, hopefully he can work it out in the meantime. 'Cause I think it's his ball the rest of the way.
Say, Red, come on, 5. Good idea.
Jordan lets that go low, hits the legs of the strike zone.
Go, 5. One.
Ground ball. Ooh, Red hobbles in, grabs it, makes the throw. Yeah, that's how bad his leg's doing. And you can see on that he's probably not getting. He really is probably throwing all arm at this point. That didn't look good. All right, 2 outs now. So he said his left calf cramped up there also as he was running in.
Go, 5.
Tries to fling that one over, can't get it. Good spot on that pitch. Finds the inside corner of the strike zone, low inside corner. That riser was up. Packer barrels up on it though, fouls it straight back. Real gutsy performance by Red. Goes without saying. He came into this fresh, but then was, immediately that calf cramped up on him. He threw, I think he got 1 out and threw like a pitch or so to Packer, who was second up. Then it cramped up on him. He's kind of gutted it through since. At points, he's had his normal velocity. At points, he hasn't. He kind of really hasn't here, which may be a sign he's really throwing with his arms rather than his legs. Another clean inning despite all that. So Juggernauts have a chance to walk it off here in the bottom of the 5th. We'll see if they can do it. If they do advance, whether they walk it off here or win later on, it'll be interesting to see what they go with game 1 against Earl. If they cramps, you never know. Like if they decide to give Red a little time to work it out, maybe put Ryan back in even though he's thrown 3 games. Maybe roll the dice with Tim, or if they win, if they continue to go with Red and then have a hook on him if he's still physically not where he needs to be. Ryan gets a nice piece of that, fouls that back. A little bit to the right, into the woods.
Let's go, Steph.
one of those pitches where you yell, "Good idea." Ryan just holds, evens up the count at 2.
Hey, winner right here. Come on.
Does that one go inside now? So full count, payoff pitch coming up. At this point, both teams want base runners, want to put the pressure on the opposing pitcher. So pretty much the same pitch that Ryan took on 2-2. Swings through that. Maybe he was banking on Steffi come over there. So that gets Red just high enough. I think no matter where that hit, I think Red would have been okay. The guy's impossible to knock over. There's been celebrations this year where, whether it's a McGillrath or Ben Stam running into him at full speed, and Red shoulder tackles them. They got all the momentum going their way, and he takes them down. The guy can't be knocked down.
Buddy. Hey, winner right here. Come on, shut the door. Let's go, buddy. Nice, Steph. Hey, one more. Let's go get some runs.
2 down. Ben Stans represents the Juggernauts' last chance if they want to win this in regulation. If not, we'll head to extra innings. Again, there'll be 5 clean extra innings if we do get there. And then if it's still tied after 10, the 11th will start with bases loaded. That one wiggles on back. Jordan makes a smart play, waits for it to get back to him. This gets the ground down, so we are going to extras. Still tied at 0. Earl waits the winner of this game in the championship series. I said earlier, I don't think this will go to bases loaded extras. I still don't think it will. We still have 5 more innings to go before we get to that point, but it's definitely looking more likely. And obviously, just based on, how both pitchers look physically, you would expect if it doesn't for Voodoo to get to Red at some point, but, you never know in these type of games. All right, Sean Steffi leading off for Voodoo. No score, top of the 6th.
Good job, Red.
It starts him off with a riser. It's the upper left quadrant of the strike zone. Or upper left from our view.
Good idea.
And tries to go across there. But misses just a little bit high. Alright, so red heading back over more Bengay. Again, if you're just joining us, 1+ batter is in, red cramped up. He's been dealing with that ever since. Hasn't had an impact on the bottom line yet. He's thrown 5 scoreless innings to this point.
Say 5. Go 5. Go 5.
A leadoff walk for Voodoo brings up Toast. Juggernauts will go 2 back, protecting against doubles. Okay, then they change up. We're going to go 2 in now.
Go red, come on, 5. Good job.
Gets Toast to chase that first offering. Juggernauts looking for a double play here. Stint on the second base side, Ryan on the third base shortstop side. Tim patrolling the outfield, just a little bit of left center. Toast slices that off to his left side as red falls to the ground and cramped up. That's not good. Not a fun pain when you cramp up your legs so bad that you can't, that it doesn't really matter what you do. You just got to kind of bear through it. It looks like he finally reached that point. The best thing you can do now is obviously it's too late, but it's hydrate. That's what I was saying. If they make it through this, they may want to just think about or putting him in the field the first game. But someplace they can hide him. I guess opposite of the pull side for each batter, and just and hope the cramp will kind of go away. He can hydrate enough. All right, we'll take a little break here as Red tries to sort himself out. Be back with the game. All right, so the Juggernauts will make the pitching change. They'll bring back in Ryan McGilrath through the first 3 games for the team. All right, ready to resume here. 1-2 count. Runner on first.
Way up, Ryan. Way up. Come on. 1-1.
Just fouls that off down the third baseline. Still 1-2.
Hey, give it your all, yo. If it's hit to you.
Just takes that off the elbow, evens up the count at 2.
Go, Ryan.
It's been about maybe a couple hours, hour and a half or so since Ryan last pitched. So you may have to work through some some stiffness, some rust here. He's gonna grab some sunflower seeds. For a second, when he was shaking out his arm, I thought his arm was hurting him, but no, just seeds. So 1 out, runner still on first.
Yeah, one dead. Please,
Guys, twist it. It's you.
yeah, you got it. Flip it. Let's go, Fry. Come on, Ryan. Good job, Ryan.
Good spot, top of the zone there. Jordan had it well timed, but swings through it nonetheless.
Good job, Ryan.
So Ryan comes in relief of the injured Red. Gets 2 quick outs here. So runner still on first for Ed Packer.
Let's go, Ryan. Come on.
gets a piece of that, but fouls him right back into the zone, then tosses his bat into the woods, or just short of the woods. So heads to the bottom of the sixth, still scoreless. Again, this will go 5 clean extra innings, which seemed like a good idea at the beginning of the game, but as we're very good time-wise, but with the injury delays, it's kind of pushed us back. Bottom of the sixth, Tim Garath leading off for the Juggernauts. Voodoo go with 2 men in here. Tim checks a swing. Up in the count 2-0. So there's like major lag when I had it back there. So that's why it's a waste having these two back here, but it's working. And like it wasn't. But it was fine last week. You know, it's weird. All right, Tim goes down on strikes. First out of the inning. Two quick outs for Steffi to begin the bottom of the sixth. Brings up Red. Line drive. Just gets in front of it. You saw him crossing the crusher screen there. It's a line drive out, allowed out to end the sixth, but an out nonetheless. We go to the 7th inning. 4 more innings before we go to bases loaded. Looks like Ryan will return to the mound for the Juggernauts.
spot. Let's go, Ryan. You stay, Ryan. Let's go. Go, Ryan. Good job, Ryan. Come on, Ryan. Go, Ryan.
Come on, Ryan.
Good job. One dead, one dead, one dead. Go, Ryan. Come on. Just miss. Good pitch, yo. Good pitch. Go, Ryan.
Come on, Ryan. Get nasty, kid.
Hey, you're good, you're good, you're good. Hey, Ryan.
Let's go, Ryan. Come on, 3-5.
Good job. Go, Ryan, just like that. Come on. Stay, right. Good
Yeah,
job.
kid.
Two dead, two dead, two dead.
Hey, no one's on, right? No one up. Go, Ryan.
You stay, Ryan. Come on. Good job, Ryan.
Ryan, way up. Come on.
Oh, good idea, good idea.
I like the mix, Ryan.
Go, right. Good idea, good idea. Go, right. Go, right.
Come on, 3-5. Get nasty, kid.
Yes, good job.
Come on.
It's you.
Atta boy, way to get up.
Ryan, why you get two?
Way to get up, way to get up.
Put in all that work, kid. Come on, Ryan.
Hey, good idea. What'd you say, Steph?
Come on, Ryan.
Line it up. How many clean?
5.
Lord forbid.
Yeah, it feels like a mistake at this point. Ground ball, Steffi's got it. Makes a clean throw. So at the top of the 8th, still scoreless. 3 more here before we go to bases loaded.
I think you should play Oppo. Red, I think you should play Oppo.
Let's go, Rod. Come on, Rod. You want me to?
Yeah.
Go, Rod.
Come on, Ryan. Hey, good idea, Rod. Come on.
Hey, Ryan, corner, Ryan. Let's go.
Go, Rod.
Come on, kid.
Good job, Ryan.
Hell of a 2-0 pitch, kid. Come on. One more. Let's go. Way up, kid. Shoot. Yeah.
One dead, one dead, one dead. Yep.
We got one.
Yeah, one dead, one dead, one dead.
I play one more.
Let's go, Rod.
Come on, Ryan. Go 3-5. Nasty.
Good idea, good idea. Stay, Rod.
Yeah! Come on. Let's go, Steffi. Fucking go, show.
And I got the board. Remember the damage now. I knew. I saw you
go, Ryan. Come on.
Come on, Ryan.
Up.
Home run from Sean Steffi puts Voodoo up 1-0. Then Toast falls off of a single, so 1 on, 1 out, 1 in.
Good job, Ryan.
Hey, you guys are twisting it up the middle.
Yeah, come on.
Go, Ryan. Hold the one here, kid. Come on.
Good job, Ryan. Two dead.
Stan, I'm staying here. I'm not.
Come on, Ryan. One.
That ball gets through the wickets. That's non-clean single, so first and second, 2 outs.
Go, Ryan.
Stan, usually a pretty sure-handed fielder. Didn't quite get down low enough for that.
Good job, Ryan. Go, right.
Way up, Ryan. Come on, kid.
Good job, Ryan.
Right, his outside edge gets out of it. The home run, though, puts Voodoo in the lead. Juggernauts down to their last chance here, bottom of the 8th.
The whiz, I was like, oh, that was a horrible idea. There's a foot off.
There you go, Steph. Nothing hurt, kid.
Go, 5. Go, Red. Come on, Red. Come on, Red.
Juggernauts down to the final at bats here. 3 outs to work with. Looking for a base runner. That's a good way to start if you're the Juggernauts. Lead off runner on. Goes up stands. Steffi finds the strike zone after I think 4 straight balls.
Let's go!
Goes the other way. Ooh, just a little bit foul.
Yeah, it's a bit out.
It was pretty foul. It was a good 5-10 feet from here. Here you can't really get that depth perception around center field.
Go 12. Come on, kid. You say, Stan. Let's go.
Really tough pitch. Steffi reached back for a little something extra there and hit the edge of the strike
Ground ball
zone.
turning now, Packer. Me and you, baby. Ground ball
So runner on first, 1 out now.
Let's go, 7. Dial in, kid. Come on, 7. Hey, get a hold out of you. Way to be. Come on, 7. Come on, kid. Let's go, kid. Come on. Dial in, you see, you hit it. Let's go. Come on, give it a ride, Tim. Good job.
Yeah, boy.
Come on, 7.
Driver's seat, baby. Driver's seat here.
Go, 7. Come on, kid.
Control.
Hey, baby, have some fun now.
You want fun on.
Let's go, Tim. Terrific, kid. Come on. Something out there, kids. What you do? Let's go. We're in the fucking spot, too.
Tim swings through the high slider now. Juggernauts down to their final out.
You got that side, I got this side.
Ryan's their last chance here. Runner on first.
Gotta go forward.
Double will tie the game. Single keeps them alive.
You can flip
Let's
it
go.
if you want.
Best AB of the year, Ryan. Gotta come to you, kid. Let's go.
Good job. Way ahead, baby. Way ahead.
Ryan takes
Go,
that
Sue.
first pitch for a strike.
Driver's seat. Driver's
Lower
seat,
inside
baby.
corner.
Driver's seat.
So Voodoo 1 out away, or 1 strike away now from advancing to the championship series.
Spot, live there. Tap shelf, baby. Love it.
Just misses a little bit high.
Be the guy. Be the guy here. Be the guy, 2-8. Still ahead.
Go,
Still ahead.
3-5. Your game right now. Come on, Ryan.
Ground ball the other way. That's going to be a single.
Third.
To first and third, 2 outs.
Ground ball, we can flip too. Yeah.
Voodoo only had 1 fielder on that side of the field. It's Tosh. You see walking across now. And he was in the outfield, so that
Hey, on the ground.
single had no chance. Once it got by, once it was hit, it was a single.
On the ground, we're flipping.
2 outs now. First and third.
Let's go, baby. Do what you do.
Juggernauts looking for some sort of single, any way they can get it.
What do you say, Bob? Come on, Red. Come on, Red. Let's go, baby. Come on. Start it again, Red. Let's go. Come on. Right here. Say, Red.
Let's go, baby. One more.
Let's go, baby. 5 minutes. Go, baby. You're at bat now. Lock in, Brad.
Way bigger than
What would you say, Bob? Give me up. Give me up. Good eye, Red. Come on.
Red lets that one go high, evens up the count at 2.
Go, Red. Keep having that, baby. Let's go. See it in it, kid.
Nobody better than you.
Go, Red. You know you can.
Come on, Sean Steffi. Let's go, kid.
Come on, 5. Go, Red. Good eye, Red.
Lets that one also go high. So full count now, payoff pitch.
You're in hitter now, Red. Nobody better than you. Fucking go.
Love these moments. Love these moments.
Come on, Bobby.
This is why we come.
Go, Red.
Single, second reach the fence, double. And a walk-off for the Juggernauts. Red 2 outs, bottom of the 8th inning, down 1-0, hits a double, bounces into the fence. Juggernauts advance to the championship game to face, or, I'm sorry, championship series to face Earl. What a game. All right, so we'll try to
Line it up with the yellow bat too. Let's go.
regroup from that, and we'll be back in, I don't know, maybe 10